Jake Paul has been told by his former coach to set SNUB a rematch with unreasonable and delusional Tommy Fury. The celebrity boxing rivals spent 2 years feuding before finally fighting in Saudi Arabia last year. And Fury dug deep in the Diriyah Desert to become the first and so far only to defeat YouTuber-turned-boxer Paul. But the beaten American, who did score a flash knockdown in the 8th and final round, has called for a rematch. Although BJ Flores, who parted ways with Paul following 3 years after the loss, told his former pupil to only do so if the cash is correct. Flores told Sunsport ahead of Paul's fight with Mike Tyson, "Tommy's unreasonable with the money, and he's unreasonable with what he's worth. So I don't feel like it's mandatory for Jake to fight Tommy again before anybody else. If it made sense business-wise, if not, then no. Tommy's not gonna get an opportunity like that with anybody else in the world. Trust me, that will never come Tommy's way again. So if he's reasonable on the money and reasonable on the price, yeah, get the fight again. But if he's delusional with what he's worth on the fight, I don't think Jake needs him. Jake can keep going. And in my mind, what has Tommy done since then? And what has Jake done since then? And what's Jake gonna do Friday night?" Fury, 25, went on to beat Paul's bitter rival KSI, 31, via disputed decision in October but underwent hand surgery after. And he has been linked with a rematch against KSI as he looks to return in the new year. Paul, 27, meanwhile claimed Fury has turned down a lucrative offer to rematch on Netflix in the past. And instead, the fight went to Tyson, 58, who makes his return after 20 years out to complete a controversial comeback. The showdown, slammed for the huge age gap, will be contested over 8 2-minute rounds with bigger 14 ounces gloves on. And Paul has talked of challenging Mexican superstar Canelo Alvarez, 34, afterwards for the Cruiserweight World Championship. That is despite neither being ranked at 200 pounds at the no world titles being vacant at the weight. Flores, a former cruiserweight contender himself, said, "I don't like it for Jake, but Jake's got a mind of his own. He's going to do his own thing. But I mean, Canelo is one of the best pound for pound." And Jake talking about fighting Canelo for a title at 200. They'd have to talk to one of the other champions about that. I think Canelo would have to fight either Chris Billam-Smith or Noel Michaelian. One of those guys to get one of those belts to be able to make that belt available to fight for. So I think it's a little weight off.